Have you ever wondered what it takes to become a Unitarian Universalist minister? This is a film about those remarkable people and the process they go through to become religious leaders. They are the future, and it begins at Starr King School for the Ministry. Located in Berkeley, California, overlooking San Francisco Bay, Starr King is a place of theological education for the Unitarian Universalist movement. It offers a 3-year course of study leading to a Master of Divinity degree. It is part of the Graduate Theological Union, a consortium of 9 seminaries that is one of the richest ecumenical environments in the world. It is a place where that most extraordinary of gifts, ministry, is discovered.
We believe that people become good ministers and leaders as they are able to get in touch with the power and the possibility that they carry within themselves as human beings. We hold fast to a vision at this school that theological education must focus on the development of the whole person and the calling forth of each person's gifts. For this reason, as we work to educate ministers, we pay attention to the individual needs of each student that comes to this school. We want to know what their gifts are. We want to know what their challenges are.
Starr King integrates classes, fieldwork, and self-directed study into a diverse program of learning, attentive to each student's quest.
Concerns this lump, as it were, that's kind of at the center of the thinking of someone who's in seminary, who's gone that far. And the lump has to do with some words like ordination, power, call.
Most of us don't really appreciate how much knowledge and skill ministry requires. A good minister needs to be theologically astute, skilled at preaching, and able to help congregations in their own religious search. A good minister also needs a knowledge of Unitarian Universalist history, as well as an understanding of other religious traditions.
Does ritual actually press against the status quo ethic and demand a revision, a real revision of ethics?
He or she should be experienced in religious education, counseling, and pastoral care, an able administrator, someone skilled at helping to create healthy congregations. A good minister needs to explore the inner depths of the soul. He or she also needs to be socially engaged, to do the work of the world.
This is a community in need. Even with the gold MasterCard, the Samaritan would be stymied on 14th Street.
We are as we love, right? I mean, we are as we think to a certain degree because the mind's a very important part of us, and we are as we eat because we're part nature. But basically, from a Christian point of view now, we are as we love. And there's no smaller package in this world than that of a person all wrapped up in himself.
I think there's a fundamental human reality. From the perspective of the gospel, we are asked to be with another as we are with ourselves, as we are with the ground of all relating. That ground of all relating is what some people call God. But the important thing is this flowing kind of relationship and the threefold quality of it. To be with another as with ourselves, as with the source of this capacity to be with.
An important part of a Starr King education is the broadening influence of the Graduate Theological Union. Students take about 1/3 of their classes at the other schools and affiliated institutes and use one of the largest theological libraries in the country. In the basement of Starr King is another, more special library.
This collection is the Earl Morse Wilbur Rare Book Collection. It is housed here at Starr King School for the Ministry, but in truth, it's a treasure that belongs to the entire Unitarian Universalist movement. It documents the intellectual history of Unitarianism from the Radical Reformation forward. Several of the most important books are right through here. They're called the Rakovian Catechisms, and they are unusual in that they are the first documents to teach that human beings are not born in sin. Human beings are born basically good, that there is no predestination of humankind.
The students of Starr King are a select but diverse group coming from across the country, from many different backgrounds and experiences. Most have had successful careers in other fields and bring a wealth of knowledge about people and the world. What they share is a passion to explore their calling.
I had everything going for me in my life as a professional, as a psychotherapist and as a teacher. And I still sort of have to pinch myself that I'm now involved in church.
It was something that I went to from way down here. It's like it was a lunge. I really wanted to do ministry in this religious institution that seemed so liberating, that talked about real things. But I was scared about it too. I was terrified. And when I came here, that terror actually helped to transform my life. It made me think of things and face things I'd never faced before.
I think that the thing that encouraged me most throughout that first semester of arriving was that all I brought to this schoolhouse, this unfinished person, was honored. My past pain, my past sorrow, my past success, all that I brought here was honored and affirmed and encouraged to go deeper.
This is a sacred place. It allows people to come here to explore, to engage with each other and with the outside community, and to discover who we are as ministers and what that means in the larger community.
Practical experience is an essential part of becoming a minister. Starr King students undertake clinical pastoral education as chaplains. They also serve as interns in congregations. Catherine Linish is intern minister at the First Unitarian Society of San Francisco.
I joke about rolling off of Holy Hill and landing splat on the streets of San Francisco. And it was painful. It was difficult. There are some realities that I was asked to look at more deeply as part of my internship, the homelessness situation in the city. It means I enter into the lives of the men who come to the homeless shelter, and I sit down and talk with them. And when I do that, I see something and know something about humanity, that about alienation, about abandonment, and some truths about life that are very difficult to face.
Bill Sinkford works at the Center for Urban Family Life at the First Unitarian Church of Oakland.
Most of our downtown churches are not particularly vibrant or healthy. Many of them are in trouble. I think what I want to do is to try to take one of those churches and make it a model, if you will, of Unitarian Universalist community, which means for me not just a community looking inward, but a community very much reaching outward to the people around it in an active ministry of outreach for social justice.
The last step in the process of becoming a minister is to appear before the denomination's Ministerial Fellowship Committee. Sarah Lammert has just passed.
So I feel ready. I feel ready to go now, and I have great hope that I can succeed as a minister, that I can enjoy it. I mean, it's not just a hard job, it's a really joyful job too. And I'm thrilled. I'm totally excited and thrilled that I get to try to take this on as my life's work. You know, I would rather do nothing else in the world.
For nearly 90 years, Starr King School for the Ministry has provided religious leadership to the Unitarian Universalist denomination. Currently, there are over 300 graduates serving in parish and community-based ministries throughout the world. While most Starr King graduates enter parish ministry, some pursue other vocations. Robert Fulgham has combined ministry with many other callings, most notably author. 30 years after graduating, he has returned to Starr King.
It's where the fire is being kept. There are people here talking about the things that I, deep down in my soul, want to talk to somebody about.
Buna Chima runs one of the largest homeless support and advocacy agencies in the country.
My expectation even now is that that people that are graduating for Starr King would be very vocal, very loud activists in the community, because that's historically what this religion talks about and stood for. And I believe that needs to continue. And I believe Starr King plays a critical role in forming that ministry.
The wider
Jocko Tenhove is a minister in Seattle.
Very important, I think it is, that we give a voice to the liberal religious journey and the values, so that people around can hear the distinction between some of the other messages that the culture gives and what we are offering people as a vision for moving towards the 21st century in powerful ways. And there was no greater crucible for me to learn how to do that than Starr King.
Our movement has an awful lot going for it, but we haven't been able to articulate it well. And as a result, there's an awful lot of confusion out there as to who we are and what we believe, what we don't believe. And I think we are accused often of our non-beliefs as much as we are for our beliefs. And I think there is going to be someone come through this school who is going to galvanize our whole movement, and I think put us on a different plane than we are right now.
I will carry with me your faces and your voices and the wise lessons I learned from your loving kindness. Blessed be.
The reason for the school's existence is because we need leaders in this world, the real world, this world that we are all part of, not some other world, as Adrienne Rich says, not somewhere else but here. In this world, we need leaders who can pay attention and who can tell the truth. That's the kind of leadership we are committed to educating.